Tonight on the Night Team. One man dies and 2 others are still in the hospital after a deadly Jeffersonville, Indiana house explosion.
God is working through her.
A young Hoosier is raising funds to help their recovery journey, one lemonade at a time. President Trump is back at the White House with the Ukrainian president on the way. What's next for the war between the country and Russia with no ceasefire announced at the Alaska summit? And we're at the 121st Kentucky State Fair, asking participants why they're proud to be a Kentuckian.
It's like stepping back in time to the 1950s. It's very picturesque, very nostalgic, and folks have a great time just stopping and visiting.
It's all new right now on the WHAS11 Night Team. An 11-year-old Hoosier looking to help her neighbors after a deadly house explosion. Good evening and thanks for staying up for the Night Team. I'm Jose Alonso. Alex has the night off. 5 people were inside a Jeffersonville, Indiana home during the blast. One of them recently died of medical complications in a hospital. Our Ian Hardwitt shows us how a girl's lemonade stand brought in large donations.
Annabelle Pretty sells lemonade for $1 per glass. But some pay $100 for a whole jar. Here at the intersection of Presidential Place and Washington Way, she raised money for the family down the street that lost their home in a gas explosion. A leak inside the house caused it, according to the Jeffersonville Fire Department.
They have to find a new home. They have to have all new appliances, all new furniture, all new clothes, everything. Like, it will never end.
The explosion happened July 30th, sending 5 people to the hospital.
Neighbors put up this memorial of balloons for Patrick Timmy Grimes, the 53-year-old man who died from medical complications after this explosion. Another member of the family who was in that explosion, Arbana James, tells me that she appreciates that there are still good people out there in the world that are willing to help complete strangers out. And I appreciate everything people have done and are still doing to help my family.
That is beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Over 3 days, Pretty raised $1,000, drawing in new customers along the way.
I had seen her stand on Facebook, and I just happened to come by, and I thought, there it is. I'm going to stop and donate some money.
Lakeisha Booker found the stand on her way home.
When it's 100-degree weather and she's taking time out of her day to support someone that she probably didn't even know is just to be in the neighborhood, that means a lot to me.
And regular customers like Diana Finch pulled $240 together for a donation.
God is working through her, and she's definitely a light within our neighborhood right now, for sure. You know, because it gets scary, but we're like, if we stand behind each other, we support each other, that's what it's about.
Yeah, I've been smiling pretty much the whole time.
So Pretty promises she'll be back, raising hundreds more dollars.
And bringing the community together by people stopping by and getting lemonade.
With each glass, her corner stand becomes a community cornerstone. In Jeffersonville's Capitol Hills neighborhood, Ian Hardwitt for the WHAS 11 Night Team. On your side.
What a difference one person can make. By the way, the community is also fundraising digitally through a GoFundMe account. If you wish to contribute, we have a link on our website where you can make that donation. That's WHAS11.com. We'll take a look at these dramatic pictures from the Fern Creek Fire Department. Officials say a detached garage caught on fire and spread to nearby houses. It happened around 3 o'clock today near Black Mountain Drive. Fern Creek and Okolona Fire were on the scene within minutes. Extra firefighters were called in since multiple buildings were involved while also battling today's hot temperatures. Approximately 40 firefighters brought the outbreak under control within 30 minutes of arrival. In total, 6 houses and 1 vehicle were damaged by the fire. 1 resident was evacuated and 1 firefighter was taken to the hospital. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. And take a look at your screen. LMPD is asking for the public's help in finding this description of a vehicle believed to be involved in a Monday hit and run. A bicyclist was hit near the intersection of Chamberlain Lane and Chamberlain Court. LMPD believes the vehicle is a Ford Taurus model year 2013 to 2019 in a black or dark gray color. It should have damage to the radiator, cooling fan, and left headlight. LMPD is asking anyone with information to contact their tip line. That's 574 LMPD. And right now, the Hardin County Sheriff's Office is looking for the person on your screen in connection to a crime. According to authorities, on June 30th, this man robbed the Eastview Food Mart on Litchfield Road. The suspect walked into the store with a handgun and black backpack, demanding money. He left with an undetermined amount of cash on foot. Officials say the suspect is described as a white male, about 6 foot tall with a large build. He was seen wearing all black from a ski mask all the way down to his shoes. Anyone with information is asked to call the Hardin County Sheriff's Office at 270-765-5133. You can also send an email to acook@hardincountyky.gov. Moving to national news, Hurricane Erin is rapidly intensifying as it tracks above the northeastern Caribbean. The National Hurricane Center says the storm has strengthened into a rare Category 4 hurricane. You're looking at video from the eye of the Hurricane Erin. Hurricane hunters flew through the eye on Thursday and Friday to gather weather data on the upcoming storm. And our meteorologist Danielle Moss tracked the storm pattern for us. Here she is, breaking down some of the details.
Here's the thing. Yes, it's a Category 4 storm, but if we take a look at our tropical tracks, don't close that door on it just yet. It looks like we could be seeing it re-intensify once again to a Category 5 storm around Sunday afternoon. As of right now, it does say maybe Sunday at 2 p.m., something that we're keeping our eye on, but that could have us see some of those winds near 160 miles an hour once again. So the intensity not quite finished, still going on for Hurricane Erin.
For the full Tropic Update, you can check out our YouTube channel. All you have to do is search WHAS11. President Trump is preparing to meet with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House on Monday. The meeting comes just days after his summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin, where the two leaders discuss ways to end the war in Ukraine. But Putin is making demands Ukraine's president may not be willing to accept. ABC's Johnny Fernandez tells us more.
It was a sight not seen in more than a decade. Russian President Vladimir Putin on U.S. soil, welcomed with a red carpet, a hearty handshake, and a military flyover. The two leaders spending hours behind closed doors, President Trump calling the meeting productive, but it was not clear what, if anything, was agreed to.
There were many, many points that we agreed on, most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway.
But even as that summit was going on, Zelensky says Russia continued its attacks against Ukraine, with bombings and drone attacks reported across the country. Trump had said he would push Putin for an immediate ceasefire, but following the meeting, the president posting on social media that the best way to end the war is to go directly to a peace agreement instead. Russia is currently occupying about 20% of Ukraine's territory. Sources tell ABC News that during the summit, Putin demanded Ukraine give up the Donetsk region in exchange for stopping offenses elsewhere and promising to halt further attacks. Those sources say President Trump relayed that message to Zelensky and European leaders, who insist Ukraine shouldn't be forced to hand over any land. Ukraine was not invited to the summit in Alaska, but it must deal with the consequences. No ceasefire, no trilateral meeting, and no severe consequences for Russia. The Kyiv Independent newspaper calling the summit sickening, shameful, and in the end useless. Zelensky spoke with President Trump by phone after the summit and is now preparing for his visit to the White House. This will be his first time visiting since February, when talks with President Trump erupted into a shouting match. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
Now to the major airline strike, impacting more than 100,000 travelers around the world. The Canadian government has ordered Air Canada's striking flight attendants back to work. The move just 12 hours after the country's largest airline halted operations. Tens of thousands of customers stranded and scrambling to find alternative flights.
I understand. I'm solidarious with strikers in general, but I mean, why do we have to pay the consequences of this?
We can't use food bags. We can't live 12 to a house. We can't be sleeping in our cars anymore.
Union representing about 10,000 flight attendants say despite the order, the strike is still on. But tonight, Air Canada suspended nearly all of its 700 daily flights, affecting more than 100,000 customers worldwide. Back here at home, Louisville Metro Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins and Councilman Ken Herden are inviting the community for a violence prevention discussion. This will be held on Monday, August 18th at 6 p.m. at King Solomon Missionary Baptist Church. Both council members say the recent events at a school bus stop are a reminder of the urgent need to stop gun violence. Also in Louisville, today, JCPS Superintendent Dr. Brian Yearwood visited Male High School for his community conversation event. This is a series of public forums with the new JCPS superintendent. Recent shootings near Coleridge Taylor Elementary on 10th and Chestnut Street have been a concern for families and students. Today, one of the conversations was about bus stop safety.
We are looking at ways that we can monitor certain stops that have proven to be more difficult. And we'll be working with LMPD and so on to really start monitoring that. You know, it's a sad day when we have to even monitor a bus stop. A bus stop should be a safe place, a safe zone for kids to gather and be able to get on the bus safely.
The next community conversation event is later this week. It will be held at Ballard High School on Thursday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Parents, staff, and the public can hear from Yearwood and ask questions for him and JCPS. And there's something for everyone at the Kentucky State Fair, whether you're going for a specific concert, you're competing in one of the competitions, or you're going for your annual donut burger. Today, we spoke with two people who live all the way out in McCreary County. That's close to the state line with Tennessee. And we asked them what makes their county so great.
Over the last few years, I've been in this position, so I've seen our county grow. We are made up of mom and pop shops. Local owned restaurants. So over the last few years, we have really grown a lot. We've seen a lot of economic improvement.
The fun at the Kentucky State Fair continues throughout next week. The last day is August 24th. And the Kentucky Association of Health Plans booth has returned for the State Fair for the 5th year in a row. This year, they're offering $20 Kroger gift cards while supplies last. It's for those who visit the Healthy Horizons Pavilion in South Wing B and get a flu shot at their booth. The clinic will be open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the event, except on Sundays. And we have a full guide to the 121st Kentucky State Fair online on WHAS11.com. It's complete with everything you need to know. Just text the word FAIR to the number on your screen right there. That's 502-582-7290. And we'll text you directly to your phone.